Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 SBA Stewart and Asciola Draft Lottery. Our occasion today is the reason for such a formal attire from your host. And we will show you how we are setting up everything today. Much upgrade to our studio. We got some visuals here and a microphone that is not functioning. But the camera work today, I am flying solo for this week's edition. The tripod was generously donated, I believe, by one Laura Stewart. So thank you, Laura, for the equipment. Anyways, moving on. Today, as you can see, we will be going through the standings with you and show you how that works in terms of the lottery. Allow me to zoom in here a bit. There we go. So, Team GABA, finished in 14th place or last place this year, meaning that she will have 14 entries into our bowl. In normal draft lotteries, they use ping pong balls, of course, but we, with a lack of ping pong balls, will be using paper slips. In 13th place, we have Al, Cowboys East team, who will be allowed 13 slips into the bowl. And then so forth, Studebaker in 12th place, Mediocre Team B, Andrea Bien in 11th place, Marilyn Bien, Bijan Hope in 10th place, Jess Bien in 9th place. I should probably stop using the last year's team names here. This was just to show you the standings. The numbers here indicates that. In 8th place, Brady Asciola. In 7th place, the Connecticut Stewarts, Tommy and Sean. In 6th place, Joshua Bien. In 5th place, Jess Stu. In 4th place, we have Daniel Bien. 3rd place, his father, Pop. 2nd place, Michael Asciola. And in 1st, Colby Bien. So Mike will have just 2 entries to the bowl. Colby, just 1 entry to the bowl. And a reminder of the system. Depending on what the order which your name gets chosen from the bowl, you will get to choose what draft slot you want in that order. So if you have the first pick, you have your choice of any slot. The 8th pick, you have your choice of the remaining 6 spots. That's how that's going to work. And just to show you here, we have printed out, where's my cursor? Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We have printed out. I accidentally X'd that. One sec. Apologies to our audience there for some technical difficulties. Anyway, you can see the sheet that we have printed out there has all the entries for each person. Gaba with 14, Al with 13, so forth, Mike with 2, Colby with 1, and we have printed that out, and we will be cutting those out and throwing them into the bowl, and that is what the results will be chosen from. So we will give you here a little time lapse of this sheet being cut out to ensure no possible scandals or conspiracy theories about the draft lottery. So enjoy a nice, I believe it'll be like 10-second time lapse. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed that nice montage of paper being cut, similar to watching paint dry, but obviously it's sped up, so made it a little less painful. Anyways, here we have the bowl of all the names, which will be chosen. Want to inform you, so you are all aware of how this is going to work. I will be choosing the names in order of 1 through 14, so the first name I choose will have the first choice of their selection. However, for dramatization and ratings purposes, we will be reading them back to you 14 through 1. So just wanted to clarify that for everyone. So we will be starting off. I will not reveal the name once I draw it. I will simply put it face down off to the side, and you will be revealed the names at the end of the drawing from 14 to 1, but we will be drawing from 1 to 14 as mentioned. So mix all the names up here in the bowl. Give them a good shuffle. Daniel BN, you want to try mix? Daniel BN has properly mixed the results according to his satisfaction. I will now pause the video and go get a blindfold, and when I come back, the drawing will take place. The blindfold, of course, no speculation and conspiracy theories about a rigged lottery. We want to avoid that at all costs. All right, the blindfold has been acquired. I will now place it on my head, draw the person who will be picking first, or sorry, not picking first, have the first selection of where they would like to pick in the draft, and place it off to the side face down. Here we go. Oh shoot, I dropped it. Sorry about that. Cover the name here. I have not seen the name. Name 2 has been taken and placed face down. I will now actually be double checking, thank you Daniel BN for that helpful hint, that the person whose name has been drawn has not been the duplicate selection, so excuse me here. It is not. We are good, but I will now pause the video and clear all the names of the first 2 people who was drawn. Sort of forgot to do that, so apologies, and we will, any duplicates of the 2 people who have had their names been called have been removed from the bowl. All right, all the names of the duplicates of the people who have already been chosen have been placed off to the side. That was painstaking and took years of my life. But it is done, and the remainder of the names have been placed back in the bowl. Just wanted to clarify a few things. Team, if you see that here, that means either Laura Stewart or Wendy Levine. One of the 2. We not unsure yet which one of those that is going to be, so we've simply labeled them as team. However, they have the number of entries that Studebaker and Laura and Evan finished with last year, to clarify that. And the other thing is, I think there was like a blue line on the side of the screen in one of our first clips. Apologies, that has now been fixed, and we will continue the lottery with the person who will have the 3rd highest choice. All right. Back down. Yeah, we're good. There we go. All right. Blindfold on. That person has now been placed off to the side, and we will remove all from those people. Alrighty, the 3rd name is in place. Their duplicates have been placed off to the side, and on to selection number 4. You can see, give you one hint here, not showing any of the names. The bowl is obviously thinning out. Blindfold. Oh, I accidentally knocked one over. I guess we'll choose that one. And then we will now remove that person's duplicates. All right, the duplicates have been removed. On to selection number 5, or choice number 5, excuse me. Time to remove the duplicates. Choice numero 6. Try and grab one here. I think we got one. Duplicates removed. On to choice 7. Just want to clarify, did not move anything around there. One was facing up. I really hope you couldn't read it, but I just flipped it around. Apologies for that, but did not change the order. Duplicates have been removed. On to, I believe this will be selection 8, or choice 8. Sorry about that. Time for selection 9. Why do I keep saying selection? Apologies again. Sorry about that. Choice 9. Force of habit. On to choice 10. This is for the person who will have the 11th choice. The 12th choice. Very slim, as you could tell. As it should be. And the 13th choice, and then by default, whoever's left will be the 14th choice. Can't like get one here. All right, as you can see, blindfold has now been removed. That's nice. All the names will be laid out, and then they will now be presented to you in terms of who will have their choice going from last to first for, again, dramatization purposes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the results are in, and we will now see who is next to be chosen. Excuse me one sec. All right, apologize for those technical difficulties. We will now reveal the results. Just our inspirational quote for you from Vince Lombardi. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. All right, the 14th selection in this year's draft belongs to Mike. All right. The 13th choice in this year's draft, Colby Bien. Now to choice number 12. And that would belong to the Connecticut Stewarts, Tommy and Sean, and maybe some other people in there, not sure. The 11th selection belongs to Paul Bien, or Pop, coming off a very strong season, a semifinal appearance, and a third-place win over one Daniel Bien. Make sure we get that in. The 10th selection, Jess Bien, was positioned for a higher selection according to the lottery standards, standings, in terms of how many slips she had in the bowl, but that's just how things go. Oh, there we go. The 9th choice, Joshua Bien. Not much to say there. just like the effort he puts into fantasy every week. The 8th selection, that would go to one Brady Asciola. Right, I believe, where he was supposed to go in terms of the standings of how many slips he had in the bowl. So, the 7th choice, Jessica Stewart. Again, you'll see a theme here as we've gone on. You'll see that a lot of people have gone exactly or almost exactly where their slips would indicate they would have gone. That's a good thing, because that's how the lottery is supposed to work, with some slight variation in there. Not drastic. And the 6th choice goes to Albion, who had the 2nd highest odds with 13 slips of obtaining the number 1 overall pick. So he fell 4 spots. The 5th selection, Dan Bien. Not sure what all that extra stuff at the bottom is. I don't know how that possibly could have gotten there. The 4th selection, Beebs. Again, another low pick, high chances of obtaining a low choice, and she did obtain a low choice. The 3rd choice, Team, Wendy Levine / Laura Stewart. Right now, we will, as we previously mentioned, they are just Team until further notice. The 2nd choice, Andrea Bien, who climbed multiple spots in the lottery, which means that the number 1 overall pick for the 2nd time in 3 years belongs to Sally Stewart and Team GABA. Exactly. She had the highest choice, and she got the number 1 overall pick, which you don't see these days in rigged lotteries such as the one in the National Basketball Association. Anyway, moving on, congratulations to Sally Stewart. If you want to double check where your pick is, just scroll back and rewind the video. But that will do it. Thank you all so much for watching. The first step in the race to put your plaque on this bad boy right here underway, and we will see you all hopefully pre-draft. Thank you very much.